Hey everybody, this is John and welcome to the free video. So if we look at the spiders today, very solid day. You can see we still have a little bit more room to go here. Again, we've been talking about this W-shaped bottom, which has been developing perfectly. And at this point, what I'm looking for is that we can actually, at the very least, make it to this trend line. And you'll notice that this trend line lines up with a few things. We've got the 618 retracement, we've got a blue voodoo skyline, and we've got a trend line here. So I'm looking at this to be the next major line in the sand. And from here, do we roll over and die, or do we explode to new highs? Now, from talking to people, a lot of people I talk to say, oh, we're definitely going to roll over and die because of this, this, and this. And so when I hear that, I typically actually look at the opposite to happen. However, the one thing I think we can all agree on is that is a huge line in the sand. And the move from there, I'm not looking for something to be quiet. Okay, I'm looking for kind of an explosive move. And the question then is how to best take advantage of that explosive move. So one of the things, or one of the trades that I'm doing, I think I talked about this the other night, is that with XLK, we were setting this up for very specifically when it was down here at 66, saying like, okay, we've rallied back up here. Are we going to roll over and die, or are we going to explode higher? Because the bet is we just aren't going to go sideways. At least it doesn't appear that we're going to go sideways. So, the tough thing about something like that is saying like, okay, I think this is going to make a big move, but do we make a bet that's going to go to the upside, or do we make a bet that's going to go to the downside? So there's specific situations like that where most of the time I do not like doing long straddles, okay, and long strangles, because guess what? About 68% of the time, give or take, they lose money, right? Because they're essentially priced for moves that are within expectations. But what's happening right now, even though the VIX popped up, is that we're getting moves almost every week that are outside of expectations. And when you get moves that are outside of expectations, then the long straddles and strangles are great because you don't have to worry about direction. One of our favorite ones that we did this year was on NVIDIA. And so you can see right here where it puked down to the 34, and when it rallied back to the 21, we're like, okay, is this thing going to explode higher, or is it going to puke? And so we bought a Delta 30 straddle and strangle there for $750, and then the next day we're able to sell it for $15, 100% gain. Now, had we bought puts, would we have done a little bit better? Yes, okay. But had we bought calls, we would have been flattened. And so the idea here, the consistency is, this is an environment that's ripe for a big move. Let's make sure we're employing strategies that take advantage of these big moves. So I've got a lot of questions about this over the last week or so. It's like, all right, so first of all, when is the right time to do a long straddle or a long strangle? Okay, because right now if you're doing short straddles and short strangles, you're getting killed, right? 70% of the time, short straddles and short strangles are great, but the 30% of the time that they're not great, they can get you killed if you don't know what you're doing. So you identify those moments in time to actually go long straddles and strangles, and it's great because you can sleep at night. It doesn't matter if the market's gap open 30 points or down 30 points. Your straddle and strangle is working for you. So we're going to be doing a class here. Everything I learned about straddles and strangles, I learned from Bruce. All right, Bruce, he did these in a $100 million fund for over 20 years. He has set up some trades where you're doing a $2,000 debit and it's turning into a 10x trade. That kind of stuff. So he is going to be teaching a strategy class on Saturday, and then he and I will be doing some live trading together. So this strategy class is going to be on Saturday, April 21st from 12 to 3 o'clock Central Time. And then Bruce is going to do 2 live trading sessions on April 23rd and April 25th from 12 to 3 Central. Well, he'll show you how to set these up in real time. So there's 2 sets of classes here that you can do. The first one is just $297, and this is the strategy class. All right, so this is where for the Saturday class, that's coming up on April 21st. And by the way, if you can't attend live, that's okay. It'll be recorded, and you'll get a copy of the recording. But in this 3-hour class, Bruce is going to go through all the strategies of exactly what kind of market conditions he's looking for, and then when you get those market conditions, how do you place this, okay? This is the price of this class is designed so that you can make this up on 1 or 2 trades, even if you're trading a one lot, okay? So this is very, very appropriate for small accounts. Brokers are totally fine with long straddles and long strangles. What they don't like are short straddles and short strangles. So if you have a smaller account, this is fine. Now, if you're interested in a little bit extra information, the Pro package here is just $697, and so this will include, of course, the 3-hour strategy class on Saturday, but then it also includes two 3-hour sessions with Bruce, and then also, as Bruce and I were talking, I also agreed to share what I do with this on a shorter term basis. Bruce looks at it a little bit more of a swing basis. I like to look at it from a day trading perspective to a couple of days to maybe a week or more, and so I'll be doing a 3-hour session on that as well, and that's all included in the $697 class. All right, so again, simplertrading.com/straddles, and we'll get you all hooked up there. All right, it's a great strategy, and what's interesting is in talking to people that have been doing this, they're like, this has been the most consistent I've been and with the least amount of stress in my entire trading career, and I love stuff like that, and that's why we're teaching it. All right, have a great night, and looking forward to seeing you in the class on Saturday.